This is Duke University.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elysia, and I'm a little sick, but I'm recovering currently, so just bear with me as I go through it. Yay! So my topic for discussion today is Beautiful White and Illumination of Skin Whitening Culture. I first became very interested in this topic as an American-born Chinese. When I first went back to China approximately 6 years ago, I was just astounded by seeing the practices that the Chinese women use to try to make sure that their skin would be as pale and dainty as possible. They would have umbrellas out in the sun, like umbrellas I thought were used for, rain and those types of situations. And then I found out that they also have a very large cosmetic culture, which is skin whitening. So, what is skin whitening? Skin whitening is a beauty practice that users try to lighten their skins with different means. So this is in Chinese called mei bai, and it literally translates to beautiful white, as you heard in the topic of my title talk. And the forms of skin whitening existing currently includes pills, injections even, and also skin whitening creams and cosmetics. I will be focusing my discussion today on the latter, and specifically skin whitening cosmetics geared towards the culturally Chinese. So the culturally Chinese I will describe as individuals in the Chinese diaspora, a geographically diverse group. However, they share the same set of cultural values, such as celebrating Chinese New Year, Confucianism, and even these skin whitening practices. So here, this talk uses skin whitening products sold predominantly in Taiwan and China as a lens to study how globalization has influenced the redefinition of the Chinese word bai, from meaning pale and fair to this new version of white and with Caucasian features. So there are a lot of different traditional beauty ideals that make skin whitening a seemingly pervasive, everlasting beauty trend in China. So there's always been admiration for pale skin, and this ideal is deeply embedded in Chinese culture. They have such common terms and idioms such as bai fu mei, which is translated as white, fortunate, and also very beautiful. So that's a common idiom. And also yi bai ze bai ce, which translates to one white will cover up 100 uglinesses. So as long as you're pale and beautiful, you can be, kind of like a Reese Witherspoon. You can still go out there and just do your thing, be a little, not too smart in the head, but you'll get by through society. Everything is great, no problem. And you can see here that there is also a long-lasting beauty ideal. So traditionally in China, it's been a largely agrarian society, right? So up until roughly 30, 40 years ago, everyone, the vast majority of the Chinese population was outside, toiling in the fields, working outside, and being subjected to the sun's harsh rays. But now, everyone else who was part of the ruling class was able to stay indoors, conduct business, even enjoy some leisure time, and protect themselves and their beautiful skin from being damaged by the harmful rays. So here you see a portrait of Empress Wu Zetian. The author is unknown, and she is one of the Tang Dynasty actresses, one of the only ones in Chinese history. And you can see the artist, the rice paper has faded away to become this really nice yellow complexion. However, the artist knowingly and purposefully chose to paint her face with white paint to make sure and ensure that the empress would have a high status and have the most beautiful skin in the land. So, there is also The cosmetic use highlights the important role that transnational corporations and mass media play in creating and spreading dominant global ideologies. And I'm using skin whitening as a case study to look at how globalization has globalized Asian beauty culture. So Koichi Iwabuchi is a Japanese theorist, and he's part of a larger school of globalization theorists who really focus on the cultural aspect, the cultural dissemination that has gone through globalization. So Koichi Iwabuchi has coined the term transculturation, and it explains the transnational spread of ideas and exchanges. It recognizes that there are asymmetrical encounters that occur between two cultures, and that this imbalance transforms the original artifact and creates a new adaptation. So you can see here that this is a Marie Claire ad, and there's a magazine that's found in America, and on the right is another version that I was able to pick up in Taiwan when I was there over fall break for my research trip. And so here is a multinational magazine corporation, Marie Claire, that was founded here in the States and wanted to try and enter the Taiwanese market. So what they would do here, and what Iwabuchi would say, is that yes, they pretty much have the same standardized magazine format here, with the Marie Claire that's always there, and the very beautiful woman on top of each one with similar text and framing styles. However, they decided for the Taiwanese edition to change it to become a very famous Taiwanese actress instead of having Blake Lively, because it's much more appealing and attracting for the Taiwanese market for people to have women and celebrities with fairer and paler skin than what Blake Lively has, which is very tan and westernized. So, multinational cosmetic brands advertise their skin whitening product lines in different ways. And I will investigate some of the skin whitening marketing motifs to examine how marketers have renegotiated some common symbols and their conventionally signified meanings to create new sign circuits that influence female consumers and redefine the culturally Chinese ideals of beauty. So I'm going to be examining and going through 3 different common motifs that I've experienced and encountered through my analysis of many skin whitening pamphlets, beauty and fashion magazines as well. And these include the pearl, milk, and also snow. So to go with the pearl is one of the world's most, beautiful gemstones, and everyone in the world pretty much covets it. So it's really interesting to learn and understand the history of pearls. So pearl is actually a very traumatic process to create a pearl. So there is a mollusk, and somehow something just goes inside of it. A foreign object goes in, and over time, as a defensive mechanism, the pearl starts creating this other membranous pore-like thing to slowly build on top of it to protect itself from this intruder, similar to what and hopefully my white blood cells are doing with my body now and trying to defend me from getting sick. That's the exact same thing that they are doing inside the pearl as well. So over time, all of these secretions build up to become a wonderful, lustrous pearl, as you can see here. And what's really unique, and a lot of these marketers have identified and tried to use in Asia for the pearl, is there's a lot of historical connotations with that as well. So in China specifically, the emperor always has this is symbolically defined with a dragon. And he's always chasing a pearl after it. And so what they do is they finally recognize and start constructing this sign circuit where now the pearls are becoming something of high status that is very much part of the Asian culture, and they try to sell this over for them as well. So abstract advertisement campaigns exemplified by the Chanel LeBlanc skin whitening products are a common signature for luxury and prestige brands. Since they target an audience that has greater purchasing power, they don't really want to sell only one product to the consumer. These high-end companies aim at selling a whole line or even a lifestyle. So these companies really rely on a whole metaphoric system in their advertisement campaigns to attract the consumer into buying their products. So perhaps one of the most purposeful cultural associations of the pearl is used in China to connect the emperor symbolism to the company's dominance and prestige in the luxury consumer market. So the pearl is signifying prestige and power to their market, even though it does not include pearl ingredients in the cosmetic formula. A popular traditional Chinese myth claims that a small swallow of pearl powder mixed with hot water will make one's skin more radiant and lighten one's complexion as well. Pearls are also believed to be very effective in treating indigestion and heartburn problems because of their high calcium content. So it is possible that the Chinese view these ads and associate pearls with helping them to absorb necessary nutrients to make them healthy, attractive, and self-confident. So, more broadly in this light, we can see how Chanel, in this ad, articulates with traditional Chinese beliefs and the correlation between the consumption of symbolic objects and resultant physical bodily changes. These beliefs can be attributed to the persistent belief in the Chinese tradition of holistic therapy and herbal medicine. A multinational cosmetic company such as Chanel can articulate the pearl image with the traditions of symbolic consumption to promote the purchase of its products over those of its competition. The next motif that I want to examine is milk. So marketers use allusions and references to milk as symbols of whitening skin and creating a very healthy body. The term milk, as in skin whitening milk, body milk, etc., appears frequently in many skin whitening ads that I've encountered in China and Taiwan. Biotherm's lait corporeal and beer corporeal, as you can see here in this advertisement, and actually display, are not skin whitening products precisely, but I feel like this imagery really shows you how important skin whitening is and milk is as a symbol in marketing skin whitening products. So here, this placement implies that Sephora, right here, it was a third level shelf, so it's right at the eye level. So Sephora expects this to be a very high selling product. The placement implies, so in the store advertisement, it's very worthy of discussion because of its milk imagery and witty references to bread and the butter and the do not eat to just make sure the consumer is not fooled into thinking that they can eat these products. They're actually just supposed to be absorbed into the skin naturally. So what these marketers are doing are saying, hey you guys, like this is a skin whitening product. If you use our product, you can haptically absorb all these deficiencies that your body might have if you're not able to drink milk every day, like many of us who are not from the Western European descent, to have it every day and be healthy and maintain a beautiful white skin tone as well. So there's no problem there. And then the last motif that I want to examine also is snow. So snow is a very popular motif connoting purity and whiteness, often used in skin whitening advertisements. So these are so natural, right? They just come from the sky, they're made out of water, they're just perfectly natural. Nothing can go wrong with that. So what's wrong with applying this product that connotes snow onto your skin? So Dior has this brand called Dior Snow, and they incorporate the symbolism of snow to their advertisements to really create this type of environment where the skin whitening users who don't often encounter snow every day, especially the culturally Chinese in the southern part of the world that's near the equator, don't really encounter snow that often. So they really draw upon the mythification of snow and how it's really light and airy to make people want to buy these skin whitening products. So it is, the tagline also for Dior claims that it's made from 100% Snow River water and boasts 100% skin whitening makeup through snow. The Dior ad spins the illusion that this makeup is created with the purest, most natural snow from the distant lands of the Alps in, Western Europe, which is not perhaps true depending on where it's marketed. So they're doing a great job at masking the origins of skin whitening products and what they actually do and the harm it does or potentially might cause the skin. And you can see here that there is a high demand for skin whitening products. So since there's such a high demand of skin whitening products, there are lots of cautionary consequences that we must be made aware of. So now as many skin whitening users are becoming much more informed about these practices, are becoming much better consumers, they still aren't very well educated, not up to our levels in the Western society, and trying to be critical of what the advertisements say perchance. So Tanya Buchan is a Thai waitress or former waitress, and she tried to use a skin whitening product that was only $1. And for the first few days, it worked out fine. She had just really pale skin all of a sudden, but quickly, her skin tone deteriorated rapidly. This is a sign of leukodemia. It's from concentrated hydroquinone use, and that's one of the major ingredients in skin whitening products. Now all the children yell ghost as she passes, and strangers gawk at her whenever she steps foot in public. She is fired from her job at the restaurant due to her appearance. So for the sake of being perceived as beautiful in East Asian society, Boonchun chemically burned off parts of her face. And Boonchun's story is a striking example of the powerful impact consumerism, social pressure, and the creation of desire can have. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.